Hi all, Kraken Latte here. As of this video, patch 9.2.5 and the Dragonflight pre-patch are on the horizon, both of which are packed with some juicy changes. Plus, it's nearing the end of the Shadowlands expansion. All of that combined has created an intense list of things that I want to get accomplished before the launch of Dragonflight, whenever that is. So, why don't I share what I'm working on with you? You just might be inspired. Or think I'm crazy. Both is good. Since that list is a bit intensive, I don't want to just rush through it, throw a list at you, and then leave you uninformed. Instead, I aim to give you tips on how to do what I'm doing. So, here's my mini-series on preparing for Dragonflight. The prep I'm covering this time is completing all the zones and quests in the game. Yes, you heard me right. So let's look at what I mean and how I'm doing it. First off, my meaning here is literal. My goal here is to complete every quest currently available in the game, but only on my main character. My main happens to be this human paladin here, so he's the lucky one that is going to tackle this mountainous task. Now, if you've seen much of my content before, you'll know that I've already done every zone of the game multiple times. I need like a Queen of Questing title or something, since I've technically completed Lore Master dozens of times. But that's across alts, not my main. So why am I doing this? Are there benefits? Well, I am a completionist and a collector by nature. That is the type of content that brings me joy. I want to feel like my main character here, who is also my main RP character, has truly experienced and completed everything. It goes deeper than that, of course, as there are some major benefits. One of them would be that you will have access to all locked content in the game. Endgame zones often need some progression before you can enter them, so that's taken care of here. And that includes reputation. A lot of zones, both old and new, will grant reputation just from questing. Another benefit would be the transmog, mounts, pets, toys, and titles that come from such activities. A lot of zone achievements also happen naturally just from completing all the quests there. Did I say achievements? I did. I'm including achievements in this task too. And that means rares and treasures are also a part of this. Killing all the rares and looting all the treasures within a zone usually gives an achievement or two. Does this include endgame zone quests, rares, treasures, and achievements too? Yep. Endgame zones like Isle of Thunder, Timeless Isle, Argus, Najatar, Mechagon, Korthia, Zareth Mortis, and much more all have this type of content, and I am including them in this goal. Now, on one hand, this is a massive task, but on the other hand, it's really easy stuff that I enjoy doing. But as you can imagine, that's a lot to keep track of. So how do I track what I've done? Well, for rares and treasures specifically, I use Silver Dragon and Handy Notes, two wonderful add-ons that I wouldn't give up for the world. I've done a full video on that already, linked in the description if you're curious. The achievements are easily tracked in-game via the Achievement tab. If you open that and go to the Quests and Exploration categories, almost everything I'm talking about here will fall under these two. You can even set it to show only incomplete and then choose an expansion. Now, the quests. There isn't a great way to track these without the aid of an add-on, since there are a lot of quests in the game, as you can imagine. So my favorite add-on for this is BTW Quests. It has an addition for each expansion and shows you all the quest chains in an expansion by zone or related content. And it shows what you've done by checkmarking it. Even better, you can click on a quest in the chain, like if you don't know where to pick it up, and it will set a waypoint for you. Super, super handy. This add-on has been seriously amazing since I had a lot of half-done zones when I started this goal, and while Blizzard has put markers for most of these on the map, Not all of them are shown if you stopped at a weird point. BTW is a lifesaver. Now, if you're a newer player and you've done very little of this content in game, this goal can be ridiculously overwhelming. So I suggest you tackle this by expansion. Just pick the one you like most or seems most appealing and start there. Then, I suggest you go in this order. Do the quests first. Do all base zone quests, then any main campaign story that expansion may have. While you're questing, check your map often so you can kill rares and loot treasures as you pass them. The idea here is to do the quests, treasures, and rares simultaneously. Then, when you're done with all that, you can check out the base zone achievements you still need. Some of these may be tricky and may not be easy or obvious, or you need to wait for a world quest or something, so it's a bit time-gated. So, the best way to get info that you need is to look up that achievement by name on Wowhead and then check its comments. Now, you can graduate to the end game zones and then do the same process. These ones will certainly take much longer as they were meant to tide you over until the next patch. The best part here, though, is doing this on a max level character will make old content trivial, so you can just chillax and enjoy the scenery as you become an expert murder hobo. I want to point out, too, that I actually do this with every expansion when it comes out. I started doing this back in Mists of Pandaria because I wanted to experience everything. So, from then on, I had all this content done about halfway through the expansion, if not sooner, which then let me go to the later patch end zones and do those when they went live. The older stuff, however, is what this character needs. Older than Mists of Pandaria, I mean. So if you keep that in mind and then stick to it, this really isn't a huge undertaking, as when you get caught up to what's current, you'll only ever have to do this with new expansions. And that is my true goal. To me, I'm playing catch-up since I did not stay active in the game until Mists of Pandaria. I was a frequent early patch quitter. Not anymore. And in case you're curious, I am pretty close to having all this done, as I've been slowly picking at it since Legion. But now, I'm wanting to turn on the gas so I can start Dragonflight with a clean, fresh slate. The WoW team developers have said that Shadowlands is the end of a chapter for the game, so, since I'm rather sappy, I'm taking that on myself as well. It may seem silly, but I want to start a new chapter too. By having all the old content done before Dragonflight launches, that feeling will be realized for me. With a solidified main character to do this all on, a deep RP story that I'm attached to, a best friend to do this all with, and a growing YouTube channel under my belt, I want to move into the new chapter feeling accomplished. But of course, this is just the first step in my list of goals before Dragonflight. And I'll cover those goals in the next videos of this series. And there we have it. If you think I've missed information or you want to request I do a specific guide, let me know in the comments below. Even if I don't answer you, I just might add your idea to my list. As always, thank you so much for watching, and remember, it's never too latte.